Welcome to the Sociology channel. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the basic concepts of sociology. But to grab your attention, I would also be discussing about the manner in which you would be solving the question in your examinations. And as usual, the sociological imagination is one of the constant idea which we would be discussing in each of my lecture. So let's proceed further. So this is a question paper of civil services examination. So what you would do whenever you see any question paper, so first thing which you would be doing is that you would be identifying two views, and then you would be arguing that why one you would be agreeing to one view, and then you would be arguing that why you would agreeing with other view, and then you will be bringing a third point that why you do not agree to both of the views, and then you will form your conclusion. So writing answers in sociology is so easy, right? I just wanted to put across an idea that examinations are very typical in nature, but through your response, you will grab the attention of the person who would be looking at your answer sheet. So the point of this entire discussion is that writing answer to any question is very easy. That's not a big deal. But how you would make your answer beautiful by understanding sociology, just by memorizing some of the definitions or some of the concepts or some of the name, you will not be doing a justice to either sociology or to yourself or to your examination. So that's why in each of lecture you'd be seeing me that I always make an argument. The argument is made so that you are able to understand the pattern in which sociological arguments are made. So now about the sociological imagination. So recall what Mills said us. Historical perspective. But Mills also stresses that we have our individual biography there. So basically, we are looking into anything from our own perspective. But if we will use our own perspective, sociology does not remain science. And besides that, we all have our limited perspective. So what we do? We increase our quality of mind so that it is possible to understand the larger meaning of whatever is happening in our individual biography. I looked at something, I have my own limited perspective, I'll not use that. I will increase my quality of mind, and now I will look to make some larger meaning of whatever I am looking at. When I would have increased my quality of mind, this is what we would call as the sociological imagination. Basic concepts of sociology helps us into developing that sociological imagination. And how we would be developing basic concepts of sociology? By going through some words which are some common words regularly used with each of the concepts or each of the popular authors' work which you would be studying. So, to understand the meaning of sociology, to understand the definition of sociology, our primary task is to understand the meaning of those words. You need to be exposed to those words to such a great extent that those words become part of your daily regimen, of your daily study routine, of your daily thinking routine. Let us proceed further. Definition of sociology. You must have noted that till now I have not shared definition from any other person. This is my definition. What is sociology? I will not like to stress sociology is the study of society, blah, 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 blah. My clear definition is sociology is what sociology does. Now, what sociology does, that becomes interesting. Now we would look into that what actually sociology does. To look into what actually sociology does, we will bring certain images. We'll study those images, we will analyze those images, and then we'll try to understand what actually sociology does. The entire idea to discuss this is not that within this lecture we are going to define what is sociology. The idea is to understand how many concepts are there for us to decipher, and how something which we read in book or something which we read in study material or any material which you have, how you can connect it, each concept, how you can connect it with practical life, and how it is very easy to actually understand each idea of sociology. And no memorization technique, no rectification, no memorization of point is required for you to top in your examination. Let us see and let us proceed further. Generally, you must have seen that people assert Indians are ruling. Indians are ruling American industry. The complete Western industry is ruled by Indian. I've also shared 5 images of the people who are generally claimed to rule industry. So, CEO of Microsoft, Google, Adobe, Palo Alto, Mr. Nikesh Arora. He has also worked with SoftBank. So many people. So naturally, it feels like Indians actually rules the roost. Is it so? The Fortune, the magazine Fortune, they also have an online presence. So now they have an online journal or online magazine. They release a list of 500 companies, which is called as Fortune 500. Although there are at least 1,000 companies who is having a turnover of more than $1 billion. Say, for example, we are limited for the purpose of our discussion, for the sake of argument, let's keep that there are Fortune 500 companies. So 500 companies are there. Now I have shared 5 images with you. Let's take that there are 10 top-notch people who are holding position as CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. For the sake of argument, I'm taking it as 10. But what is the population of India? Population of India is 17 to 18%. So out of Fortune 500 companies, somewhere around 17 to 18% CEOs has to be from Indian background. Are we having that much representation? If we are not having that much representation, why it is oftenly claimed that Indians are ruling Western industry, Indians are ruling such and such industry? Why it is claimed in such a manner? Clearly, it does not seems to be a fact. So now you see from my own personal experience, and then increasing my mental capacity by bringing certain additional data to it, how I developed my sociological imagination to look into the same fact and create a complete different argument. Understand this. Everything stayed the same. I accepted. Yes, there are so many Indians who are holding the top-notch position in some top-notch companies of the world. But The number does not matches. And this is question number 1 for you. Which idea of sociology I am discussing here? I will give you answer. I'll give you answer in my following lecture. I'll give you answer. But you please give me answer in the comment section. Recall whatever till now you have learned. Recall that. What sociological idea I am discussing here? So, in a urban setting, I shared this particular image and I asked, what is this? A preschool student is not able to answer that it is samosa. It seems that preschool student is having low IQ. I shared the same image in a rural setting. The preschool children was able to respond to my question. Yeah, I know it is samosa. It seems that the child from rural setting is having higher IQ in comparison to the child in urban setting. What is the shape of sandwich here? You can see, since you are adult, you can understand that this is the image of a sandwich. Now this is a two-dimensional image. Any child who has seen sandwich in real life but always saw sandwich in three-dimensional. Now he is not directly able to connect his 3D experience, his actual life experience to a digital experience. You ask him, what is this? Even when he knows the answer, he is not able to respond that this image is sandwich. That kid would be marked as low IQ. And if it's an examination question, that kid fails in the exam, right? This is the image. We all know this is the image of a triangle. If you ask a preschool children in urban setting from a middle class family, rich middle class family, the child would be able to respond immediately. Yes, this is a triangle. What shape it is? It is a triangle. But if you ask a child in rural setting, the child would not be able to say that it is a triangle. Now you twist the question. You show this and you ask the child, have you seen something similar to this shape, similar to this? Maybe there is a chance that there is a increased chance that the child would be able to answer to your question. Now you see the child is able to identify samosa. Child is not able to identify triangle. If the syllabus includes triangle, syllabus does not include samosa, then what we are doing here? Which sociological concept I am discussing here? So, I'm discussing the concept, and this is also your question number 3. So, there is a child, is a preschool child. So, you must have seen children playing in preschool. The teacher calls all children to come into the classroom. One child keeps on playing outside, keeps on loitering outside. The teacher comes from behind and picks the child and takes him or her into the classroom. I discussed the scenario. Now, this is a dog. Whenever the dog passes in your colony, even when you are not friendly with the person who is carrying the dog, you always wave to dog. Or you are sitting in park, you are jogging in park, the dog passes by, you are very friendly in responding to to the dog. Now, there's a woman. You expect that if a woman is visiting certain area, she should follow a certain dress code. You find it within your power. As a male, you find it within your power to say to women that what she should wear or whether she is wearing appropriate clothes or not appropriate clothes. There's a woman passing by. A rickshaw puller sees that the woman is walking on the road. The rickshaw puller would shout, "Get aside, madam, get aside." If a male is walking on the road, the pitch, the manner, the sound, the courtesy or uncourtesy, entire changes for that rickshaw puller. Even when the woman is from rich family, richer class, upper class, and the rickshaw puller is from lower class. Even when the male is from lower class or upper class, the rickshaw puller is from lower class. You see, whenever a woman is passing by, the male behaves in a certain different manner. This is your question number 3. Which concept I am discussing here? Mix all three. Just do not get focused on this women, the story of women. Mix all these three concepts. Your question number 4 and the discussion. In a preschool, you must have seen that 100% teachers are female. And generally in a school education sector, almost 90% teachers are female, especially in private sector. 90% teachers are female. Does it shows gender empowerment, female empowerment, gender equality? If it shows, how and why? If it does not shows, how and why? Which idea of sociology I am discussing here? Batman versus Joker. Which idea of sociology I am discussing here? Question number 5. There's a movie. In this movie, you can see a person in hat. He's a main chief protagonist of the movie. Is the main person. The name of the movie is Dallas Buyers Club. Ron, the protagonist of the movie, is a happy-go-lucky person. He has money, he earns money, and he enjoys it fully. He is diagnosed with AIDS. Then he comes to know of certain medicine, but the medicine is illegal in America. So he looks for certain other ways to bring it illegally in America. Just like we smuggle drugs, he's smuggling AIDS medicine. It's illegal in America. You find it ethical or unethical? You find it morally dignified or immoral? Which sociological idea I am discussing here? Foucault, Michel Foucault, the images of the Michel Foucault. In his book Discipline and Punishment, he writes, is it surprising that prisons resemble factories or schools, barracks, hospitals, which all resemble prisons? how Foucault got this idea. See, how Foucault got this idea, when we identify that, now we can emulate Foucault. So you need to identify what sociological idea Foucault is picking here. This is your question number 7. Now, the basic concepts of sociology. You need to know these words which is listed on this slide, and I would be discussing all of these concepts in its separate video, so that anyone who is interested to go through that particular concept will watch that video, and if anyone is not interested in that concept, we'll just proceed to our next lectures. So just for the process of convenience, I'll be discussing each idea in its separate videos. The words are, although if we start collecting all the words of sociology which you are supposed to know, or which you would be able to understand at the end of this entire education of sociology which I am carrying, or if you are carrying at your schools or colleges or university, so there would be at least 1,000 words, 1,000 vocabulary, 1,000 sociological terminology which you would be regularly using to express your sociological idea, to present your sociological imagination. So the words are society, values, norms, social fact, social structure, social construction, social order, socialization, social change, agency, structure, agency and structure, social change, social facts, social constraint, rationalization, state, power, feminism, ideology, theory, law, colonialism, post-colonialism, neo-colonialism. So primarily, first we will discuss all these words. We'll touch these words. We'll not discuss it in some very highly scholarly manner. We'll try to understand the basic definition of these words, so that whenever these words comes in your chapter, or whenever while studying about certain prominent scholars like Marx, Weber, Durkheim, you are able to appreciate what they are discussing. So that is the necessity here. So that's all for this lecture. Thank you very much for joining me here. See you in next lecture.